Music is magic anyway. It's crazy that it even works, that we can hear these sounds, you know? So I just try to manipulate things in whatever way I can to just make it sound exciting. I just want the listener to feel something when they're listening to the song. That's what it's all about. One of my favorite things when working on music is trying to come up with new sounds and textures that might not have been heard before, or if they've been heard before, just in a slightly different way. And the really cool thing about where we're at in sort of the timeline of recording is you do have seemingly endless possibilities. You have a ton of plugins, we have lots of different pieces of analog gear, you have outboard effects and reverbs and delays. So I spend a lot of my time actually just trying to find new ways of creating a feeling. I used to only work in one DAW. Now I literally will work in whatever the person starts in. I want to start in that. So if I get a track sent to me in Ableton, so like when I work with Flume, Harley sends me a session in Ableton, and I sometimes will work in Ableton, then I'll export into Pro Tools. I might do some sub-mixing. I get a Logic session. I might do sub-mixing in Logic. I'll adjust plugins within that. I'll make groups. I try to just keep the essence of whatever this producer has done as intact as I can, so that then I can expand on it. Because I think everybody has their own sort of sound, and everyone's hearing things, and these are people with very, finely tuned senses and finely tuned aesthetic ideals. So I want to make sure that I'm not losing any of the sort of essence of what makes something great from the start. I have been very lucky to work with some incredible female pop singers like Emma Louise and Dua Lipa, Julia Stone, Kylie Minogue, Demi Lovato, great singer, Sabrina Carpenter, another great singer. And there is something about the timbre of the female voice, especially on electronic tracks, that I love. A lot of the great Flume tracks, a lot of the great Odessa tracks that we've done, it sort of cuts through the density of the track. And I love sort of that soaring vocal on top of like a heavy, dense electronic track is, I think, just a very exciting thing, because you have the whole frequency spectrum is represented. Yeah, there is a real magic to that, and it's those are fun to work on. I've used all different monitors over my career, and I've recently started using these KH310s. It's surprisingly pleasant to listen to. They're very clear, and they don't sound too colored, and I feel like I'm able to hear very small details, especially in the mid-range, and I'm hearing the vocal placement in a very accurate way. I feel like it's giving me a kind of sort of this magnifying glass that I can really hone in on very slight details that maybe, before I was kind of missing. The one thing that kind of goes through all of my work is it's about the feeling. To me, I know that there's no right and wrong in music, and that's all I can kind of go on, is like, how does it make me feel? Am I getting lost in it? And then I feel like if I'm getting lost in it, then I hope the listener will. So I don't really, some of it's almost beyond comprehension, really. Like, I love that point in a mix where I kind of don't even know what I've done. I just know that it sounds great to me. So that's kind of when I know that it's finished.